How's it going, guys and gals? This is Advanced Warrior here, and welcome to my 200 subscribers special replay commentary. I just want to start off by saying thank you guys so much for helping me achieve 200 subscribers, although by the time this video comes out, this kind of video was long overdue, but I just didn't expect to hit 200 so quickly. Like, I already had this planned, but then next thing you know, I just shot up to 200, and I'm just like, oh shoot. Well, I hope they understand that this game probably did take a while, and this game is me and 3 of my friends who play Advanced Wars by Web reenacting the final mission of Advanced Wars 2 Black Hole Rising Final Front. And there is a final front on Advanced Wars by Web, but it is a little bit scuffed, which is something I will discuss right now. First off, the map is really huge, so I'm so sorry if the tiles are like way too small to see, but this is the best that I could really do. I could maybe just like expand and maybe just like shift up and down, but that almost feels like way too much work. But yeah, this is the Advanced Wars version of Final Front, and it is accurate to the cartridge game tile by tile, well, for the most part. There are a couple things that Advanced Wars by Web just doesn't have, because it's a multiplayer game. The single player game, there's like so many different things, such as mini cannons, which has been replaced by pipe runners, and this pipe runner can go down these pipes, but to try to make it as fair as possible, or like replicate it as much as we could, we agreed to not move these pipe runners down here, although it would be kind of nice with their really good range. We just limited it to what the actual game does, and I believe it's like if you pass these bases and these airports, then I will go ahead and shoot you, which would put me in a predicament, because if it gets back there, then holy crap, I did something wrong. Alright, and the death ray and large cannons have actually been replaced with battleships, and this is an okay way to show off the I'm sorry, to show off the giant cannons. Problem is, they don't cover every terrain similar to Advanced Wars 2. The pipes, I believe, no, I'm sorry, the cannons, I believe, expand all the way out to this city, or maybe this forest line all the way down here. So like, actually no, I take that back. The pipe actually expands all the way to the center islands, but unfortunately I do not have that luxury, so it could be possible that Orange Star at the bottom here is able to get that these 4 properties here. We have 2 neutral bases right behind my cities on the sides here, and I also have 2 cities here. So this, like, these 8 properties, like somewhere in the middle, are the most contested. These 4 properties here, I will have to shove in a lot of units here, which I will have to shove in a lot of units to try to interrupt some caps, but I will be kind of far from my bases, and my opponents will actually punish me for trying to get these cities. Alright, as for my opponents, it is a 3v1. They each have neutral bases. Very likely that 2 would go to red and 1 would go to each other side. Like this base probably go to Cobalt Ice, this base to Green Earth, and like 2 to Orange Star, or it could switch around, but at least Orange Star should get 2, which is something that I do when I play the cartridge game. They have their own properties to capture. Like Orange Star has a lot of neutral cities around them, like almost within base range. Cobalt Ice and Green Earth have these 3 cities, airport, and a missile for each of them to use. Me, on the other hand, I have like 10 missiles, and I have like 30,000 income. I could get up to 32, but like I said, these 4 cities here I actually could lose if I'm not careful enough. I'm sorry, I'm just pulling up charts for something in the future. Yeah, it's a really good final map on on the cartridge version, a little bit scuffed on Advance Wars by Web. One of my friends, Mouth here, actually did try to recreate Final Front, but it wasn't tile by tile accurate. It was more out of function rather than form. I believe this version of Final Front was more form rather than function, but we still had a good time, and and we just, you know, this was a super casual game. Just wanted to have a game with my friends and try to celebrate 200 subscribers being reached on my channel, which again, thank you guys so much for helping me accomplish that. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and go with the COs. So player 1, Orange Star, my friend Mouth, picked Nell. Nell stated today is that she has a luck range of 0 to 19. The default luck for every CO, I believe, is 0 to 9, unless you're Sonja. So she gets an extra 10% boost on luck, which actually can pull off some crazy rolls. Like there are some times where you wouldn't expect a one shot, and then all of a sudden Nell can just come in and just be like poof, the unit's dead. Nell is tier 0, but that's mainly because she is banned in a lot of Global League games, because you don't want to have a lot of luck impacting the games. Like Flak and Jugger are also banned in Global League, but the COs that do have some form of luck that aren't banned are Rachel and Sonja. Sonja just has a chance to have a bad luck roll. Rachel's luck boost is small, and it's also like her power, so it's a bit more fair, not too crazy as Nell. But out of all the luck COs, I think Nell is probably the best. But not tier 0 material. I've tried using Nell in tier 0 and she was not impressive as the rest. I hear some people say that maybe she's like somewhere in tier 2. She'd work better in tier 2. I can kind of see that, maybe like higher tier 2 or maybe lower tier 1. But having good luck in Advance Wars is really, really good and can get you some really nice surprise kills that you wouldn't expect, but it will also put you in the lead. Now, I don't normally talk about these COs, so I need the chart to name their powers. I'm so sorry. For 3 stars, Nell gets Lucky Star. Lucky Stars increases the luck range from 0 to 59%. So it's almost like an additional 40% luck boost, which is a little better than Rachel's, like 5 more luck, I believe. And I've seen this used in some casual games, and some people would just like throw infantry at tanks and they would deal like 2 to 3 damage, which is a lot of value, but the tank is kind of lost though. I have used this before to like get a nice little push, and yeah, it's definitely killed units for me, but it's not as impressive as Nell's super, which is 6 stars, and that is Lady Luck. Lady's luck range is 0 to 99. These are the kind of rolls that you would expect Nell to do when an infantry attacks a Neo tank. Like, an infantry could attack a medium tank, a Neo tank, and that tank is like either heavily crippled or dead. Or if you're super unlucky, it won't do anything at all, just like a normal attack. Luck is a really it's a very gamble-ish mechanic in Advance Wars. You think Fire Emblem is very random, just wait till you see how luck goes in Advance Wars. Like, you would just see like very, you know, unrealistic things happen, even though a lot of unrealistic things already can happen in Advance Wars. It's just an infantry shooting their rifles at an ironclad tank or whatever, and it just explodes, and you're just thinking, ooh, that really hurts. You do not want to be on the receiving end of a high luck roll from Nell. Okay, so my second opponent is Multi-Topic Talk, also known as Master Kambe, player 2, playing Cobalt Ice, and he is Flak. Flak's luck range actually goes into the negatives from -9 to plus 24, which is, you know, a bit better than Nell's when you get to the positives, but there's a very real chance that Flak can do less damage than intended. Flak is a really, you know, he's kind of a wild card. You know, it's you would get impressive high rolls, but you can also get very disappointing low rolls. It's just, you know, more risky than Nell, obviously. If I had to choose between all the Luxios, I would definitely pick Nell, because the negative range is just a gamble that I don't want to take, and I'd rather get no value to additional value. So Flak is, I mean, if you're willing to take the minus 9% luck and just get like a nice boost to like 24, then sure, yeah, that's okay. But if I had to choose between Flak and Jugger, I would pick Flak. Alright, so his powers are also 3 to 6. His power is called, I am so sorry, his power is called Brute Force. And Brute Force changes his luck range from negative 19 to plus 49. So you, I would actually use the power more than the super when playing Flak. Yeah, like I said, it just broadens and widens the range of how much damage Flak could or could not do. Like, he could do, like, I believe minus 19 is like minus 2 damage, and plus 49 is like plus 5 or 4 damage, which is the power that I would use over his super, which is Barbaric Blow. Barbaric Blow drastically changes his luck range from negative 39 to plus 89. So you can expect a really, really high roll, but you're not going to get a good chance of that like Nell's, because you have that minus 39 of range. It's like for Nell, for Nell, it can go from here to here, if it's on screen. For Flak, it can go to here and all the way back here. You know, just obviously a lot wider than Nell's range of luck. So a very gambly CO. I usually don't see them in like a competitive play or whatever. Maybe if you're like a casual match, I would intend to, I would usually see Flak. Maybe if I want to have fun, I play Flak myself. Alright, and the third and final luck-based CO. Player 3 playing Green Earth, my friend Artori Gold playing as Jugger. Jugger's attack range on luck is minus 14 to plus 29, so a lot more volatile than Flak. It's the same thing. You could get a very high roll, you could get a very low roll. It's just that Jugger has a bigger range, and I personally don't like that. The bigger range there is, the less likely that you will actually get those high rolls. Like, even when you do, you probably wouldn't expect it again. And his powers are called Overclock, which is, which is minus 24 to plus 54. Again, just, like, it's probably, my hands are off screen to even try to show you the luck range. And his super is 6 stars, and it's System Crash, which changes the luck range from minus 44 to plus 94, which is actually kind of insane to see. Alright, so who picked all these COs? Apparently it was Artori Gold, as I was told. Melf originally wanted to do triple Olaf, so they would just hit me with snow and I can't do anything, and I would just be slowed down like probably almost every turn, or every other turn I would be free. But the triple Luxios are actually kind of fun. Alright, so now for me, since this is Advance Wars 2, roleplay, or whatever you want to call it, I had to be the character that everyone faces at the end of Advance Wars 2, and that is none other than our Lord and Savior, Sturm. Sturm's movement cost over all terrain is reduced to 1. So he can just roam freely wherever he wants to. Like, you see all these forests that are on the map. Sturm doesn't care about those. Like, this one forest that's on this bridge right here, he just goes through that like it's nothing. So if a tank has 6 movement, they will have 6 movement no matter what, unless they run into impassable terrain such as rivers, mountains, pipes, ocean tiles, whatever. It's like whatever the units can realistically go through. Yeah, it's a pretty huge boost. However, it doesn't work during snow, which is why Melf wanted to go triple Olaf, which would have been very painful to see. Yeah, he would get the same reductions as every other character does get, what that every other CO does get in Advance Wars. So all that movement is nice, but it's also he's also got a little weakness, and it's been traded for a strength. He has minus 20% attack, but has plus 20% defense. So he's very agile, very mobile, but he can't use that agility to try to deal a lot of damage to enemies. They could maybe have a recon, move in, interrupt some caps, and then pull back, and then try to play a bit more defensive with, I hear some people like to play with indirects with Sturm, and Sturm's indirects are really good. Missiles and rockets will not be tempered heavily from their tires. I believe tires is like the worst vehicle type. They move fine on roads, on planes or forest, whatever. They will suffer heavily, but Sturm, he doesn't care about that. I would build a rocket as Sturm if I was playing him in a tier 1 fog game. He is tier 1 in fog, tier 0 in standard, and I can kind of see why, because if you're not careful with Sturm and fog, you will get punished for trying to use your free reign of mobility. Alright, and so he has the second most, actually, he has the most expensive power meter in the entire game next to Von Bolt. His first ability for 6 stars is Meteor Strike, which launches a meteor that is about 5 tiles wide in diameter in a diamond, and deals 4 damage to what I believe deals the most amount of damage income wise. So if you have a bunch of units, like say you have a bunch of infantry and they can all get hit by the meteor, the meteor wouldn't target anything. That was less than 1200, I believe. Yeah, in 13 infantry is like 1300. So if they had like 2 tanks that were like within range, the meteor would go for those 2 tanks because it costs more. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because I actually don't know this, but from my experience, I think that's what it is. Just deals the most damage value wise, so it would go for more expensive units. You cannot control the meteor, although that is very broken. So I guess we got a little bit of not randomness, but unpredictability if you're not accounting for all the income costs. For 10 stars, it's Meteor Strike number 2, and it does 8 damage instead of 4, which is it's really good when you get it. But I find in a more but in a more of a competitive game, I would usually see Sturm with Meteor Strike 1 because it's cheaper than Meteor Strike 2. You're still getting damage on a certain number of units, and it also gives him plus 10% attack and defense by default. If Sturm has a comm tower, then he would get normal attack power and plus 30% defense, which is really, really good. With 1 comm tower, Sturm just gets the 90, so just the plus 10% is a good enough incentive for Sturm to use the Meteor Strike 1 just to use the CO power bonus. But in this game, there's no comm tower, and Sturm is actually supposed to be plus 2020. In Melt's version, I believe he created 4 comm towers, so Sturm can have that plus 2020. But here I just have the minus 20 plus 20. Just try to have it as less scuffed as I could. But I probably would try out Melt's version of Advance Wars of Final Front, which is supposed to be more functional over form. Alright, so that's like 13 minutes of talking about all the COs. I will do like an automatic roll for each of the games, and then when it gets to like a lot more complex moves, then I will slow it down. Okay, so okay, so Melf has enough to build an infantry and a transport copter, which is really good for him. Everyone else is just building infantry. Let's see what I do. I build 2 transport copters to try to get the neutral bases, and I build a tank, an APC, and just try to fill the rest with infantry, because I know I would need that infantry to, like, cover infantry walls. Infantry walls are really good for Sturm because they have that plus 20% defense, which is what your infantry want to do. So let's see here. Melf uses a transport copter to try to get the base in the middle, which is really good for him, because unfortunately for me, my battleships cannot cover those bases, unlike the vanilla Black Hole Rising 2. Advanced Wars 2 Black Hole Rising. So I drop off my transports. I drop off my infantry from the transports, and they will start capturing it within 2 turns. And I'm just like moving my infantry forward, and I drop my infantry from the APC so I could get like a little bit of a boost going on. Alright, so I have 2 recons on the side, a 3rd recon on the middle, a battlecopter on the left, a tank on the top, and the rest with infantry. Still trying to go with traditional meta of multiplayer Advance Wars, and Melf builds a battlecopter, which is not a bad unit. It can like surpass the bridges in the middle, and as you can see right now, I have no anti-air. Master Kanbai on the left does go for the city instead of the base, which I disagree with. Normally I would go for the base first as soon as I could. Casual, competitive, and Advance Wars, I would do that. I also do that in the single player version, and he builds a recon, and Artillery Gold had transport copter to try to contest my base on the top, which I will not allow that to happen. And I put my transport copter on the base, so Master Kanbai doesn't put his transport copter on the neutral base, and it would be harder for me to capture it. I would be delayed by the capture, actually. And here I'm moving my tanks and moving my units forward. Recon is moving down with the 2 tanks. The infantry are just slowly hurtling through that massive road-filled base. Oh man, Cole is probably really happy there. I move my recon down, and I build a battlecopter, artillery recon, and my mistake was that actually no, maybe it wasn't a mistake. He builds a battlecopter, and I don't respond with an anti-air. Maybe I will have a battlecopter from either side move in the middle, but it's one thing that you want to do in standard, and that is you look at your opponent's army, and then you build the units that you need in order to respond properly. And here Master Kanbai moves his transport copter a bit forward, a bit way too forward. Usually you want to place it, and drop your infantry somewhere where it could still reach it at max range, so your transport copters can help transport units coming in from the back. Okay, here, so alright, so it looks like that Melf is allowing both of his teammates to get the neutral bases on the side, which is actually fair because Melf will get those 2 bases in the middle. And yeah, I'm just capturing both the properties, and here I throw in my recon, and this was just the follow-up of my first mistake. I never properly covered my units for that battlecopter. And here I'm like kind of splitting my tanks off to the side. Rockets, like I said, they move fine with no mobility punishment. Yeah, like recons are moving in to probably harass some of the infantry on the sides, but they do have better units. Master Kanbai has an anti-air, and Artillery Gold has a tank, and I build an anti-air and a tank. Anti-air way too late, and unfortunately for me, I am unable to pass through that bridge and start interrupting those caps. Looks like Melf is going to assist Master Kanbai with the transport copter, bringing the infantry down to the left, maybe to just annoy me or block off. Oh yeah, that's exactly what he did. He did that so he would prevent my recon from attacking that neutral base and trying to interrupt the cap. So yeah, good teamwork from my friends here, really covering each other, really allowing each other to try to get those bases locked down for them to utilize, because that's the frontmost base, and there are battleships instead of cannons. And here Artori Gold uses the missile to shoot down a recon, a battlecopter, and interrupts my capture with the neutral base, which would delay me by a turn, but I should have sufficient cover to try to get that base. You would probably expect me to pump out several units from that base here. So I try to get a free hit off of the I try to get a free hit on the infantry, and I just have the tank to follow up to cover my recon. And I believe that anti-air cannot reach my base because I blocked the planes with the tank, and the anti-air is going to have trouble going through all those forests, unlike me. So that is something to take advantage of for me. I move the APC back and I try to boost in infantry, and I'm also bringing like the rockets and the artillery here, and I'm hoping that these indirects would try to lock down the central island. So like whatever they build, they would get hit with something, and they would cost them money to try to repair their units. But I am Sturm with minus 20% attack, so it probably won't do as much. So it's just a matter of, okay, I'm just interrupting it, they get no money. Alright, so my infantry is staring down that battlecopter, but I do have my own battlecopter to actually cover it. And nope, I take that back. That battlecopter, actually, hold on. That battlecopter attacks from the right, and the transport copters used to block my battlecopter. This is a casual game, but you can really see how impressive Melth really is as a player. I'm seeing a lot of fantastic communication from the team. Master Kanbai does not yet use his missile on the bottom. They each have 2, I've got 10. And as you can see on the sides, I actually have the transport copters ready to like bring them back down. And here you see Artori Gold is actually going for the capture on the right side, and spoiler, I do believe I don't catch this, unfortunately. So Artori Gold might be able to get that, and he's got like a little infantry corner covering his tank. Battlecopter and anti-air are there for backup, and I do have an infantry in range in the back to start using one of the missiles. So I move the rocket up in preparation to start shooting units from the base, and I have the anti-air and the battlecopter ready to cover that recon. And woo, turn 6 Neo tank. You guys saw the turn 7 Neo tank replay commentary. Now here's the turn 6 Neo tank. Albeit though, I have like 30 to 32 income per turn, but you might see a mistake. I built a medium tank on the top as well, and yeah, I think I realized way too late that I should have built an artillery to cover my left properties. Try to get that free shot on the transport. Can't build anything from my base on the left side yet because I just captured it and I was interrupted. And yeah, you can see on the right, Artori Gold is going to get at least one of those properties. 3 battlecopters in the center coming from Melth, and this battlecopter is going to attack me from the side. It will get shot down by the anti-air, but my anti-air will be on the left and instead of the middle, where it could probably do a better job covering my units. So yeah, he's just moving forward, moving to the side a little bit to assist his friends. Transport copter is coming back to try to move more units, and Master Kanbai finally uses his missile. I let that happen. That was on me. But a 7 HP rocket, still not unusable. I can still try to like hurt some units down there, and Melth has got a lot of infantry down that center. I will have a hard time trying to break through that because, again, I am Sturm, minus 20% attack. And yeah, Artori Gold is going to get, very likely going to get both of these properties. That was a huge mistake on my end. I should have been more aware of that. I thought I'd see it. I thought they'd never go for it because I'd see it and it'd be like, okay, I can just build an artillery, just place it in the middle in front of the pipe seam. And here we go, my first missile, and I get a lot of value off that. I kill that recon with the Neo tank. Not a whole lot of value, but that Neo tank is moving in and it had nothing better to do, so I'm making presence there. And here on the left we can see that I am facing an infantry wall. I am honestly kind of glad to see Master Kanbai using infantry walls, because I know he doesn't play a lot of standard, and I've got a lot of units coming in. The right side battlecopter, 2 tanks, recons, infantry are coming in. I've got a base right there, but unfortunately I will be losing some units. I will be losing some income. Rocket is also coming down as well, and yeah, unit coverage is very, very important. My opponents use both of their missiles, and I have another Neo tank coming from the left side, and I joined infantry. I believe it was to buy something. No, did I not buy anything? Oh, I did buy a Neo tank. That might have been it. But yeah, wow, even with plus 20% defense, I am still losing to 1 HP. It is Nell, however, so Nell probably did get a high roll. The way luck works against defense is that, ooh, we got a bomber coming from Melf on the bottom side of the on his right airport, so I gotta be wary of that. My battlecopters cannot hit that. So so the way defense works, that's a 9 roll from from Melf there on my Neo tank on the right. So the way luck works against defense is that they defense still works against the luck. So the luck is going to be a lot lower than usual. Seeing a little weird split on the infantry wall for some reason. Maybe they just don't want to be like a complete straight line. It'd probably be suicide. And a Neo tank coming from Master Kanbai on the left side here to contest my Neo tank, and he's got infantry to back it up. Yeah, and everyone's just taking pot shots at my Neo tank, and it actually traps me. So that was rather unfortunate. I should be able to break it free, however. And I want to break it free because there's like 2 artilleries literally staring down at it. Yeah, our bases are like really, really close to each other, but my opponents actually have more bases closer to that front. So that is something I probably should have been aware about. The medium tank is coming down. There is a bunch of infantry. I really think, looking at this now and just thinking, damn, I really should have used this for something else. Missile comes down, attacks the 2 artilleries and the battlecopter, probably the tank and the anti-air as well. So yeah, I'm just getting like really, really heavy first strikes down here, and Artori Gold's army is not looking very intimidating. Yeah, I put a medium tank next to a 2 HP artillery. I've got the recon there to try to cover it, and I've got the tank coming down as well. 2 battlecopters covering each other and the rest of my units, and I do build a mech on the right side. I figured that the bases were close enough, so a mech would probably get some value down there. Bomber is coming down here, and this is just another mistake of... God damn it, Melf. That medium tank took a shot. This was just a, yeah, rather unfortunate for me. I had should have seen that bomber coming down. And here we just see Melf boosting some of his infantry to, looks like reinforcing most of it on the right side. I'm pretty sure he could see that, yeah, Artori Gold has like 30,000 in army value. Melf and Master Kanbai are both at 60,000, almost 70,000. So it was a good move by Melf to move down and try to support his companion on the right side, where I'm hitting him pretty heavily. Master Kanbai has done a pretty good job with the has done a pretty good job with infantry walls on the side, and he pulls the Neo tank back, probably because my Neo tank can reach that his Neo tank if it moves up any further. But let's see on the right side how Artori Gold responds. He is bringing his infantry up and scooting his artillery up just a bit more. Takes the first shot on my infantry, still a favorable trade. Pulling back his tank, doesn't repair with it, however, and they're just getting these they're all Luxios. I have to remember, they're all Luxios, so they're at least going to do 1 to 2 damage to my units. It's yeah, it's kind of whittling down here. And the one problem I feel like I had with with Sturm and on this map are two things. One, maybe I was being a bit too aggressive. Oh yeah, you could see that Neo tank. I'm trying to shoot that base. Probably being a bit too aggressive because the bases are really close to each other. Maybe I could have played around it a bit more with the forest that I can utilize and that my opponent cannot. Alright, so I move a tank onto that base, but unfortunately... Oh, actually no, I do cover that tank with a battlecopter, so the bomber can't attack the base, and this is going to be a lot of fighting that they are going to have to do in order to free that base. And there's just a bunch of infantry, and like I outnumber my opponent on the left side, Master Kanbai, with more tanks. So I'm just taking shots at infantry, kind of daring him to come over and hit me. I will have a lot of counterplay, and I just move my infantry back to try to get a missile chain and then chain into my transport copter, moving into the other missiles. So I currently have 2, 4, 6, 8 missiles left. I've used 2 on the right. Battlecopter comes down. Bomber comes in, heavily damages my units, still survive. 1 damage off my battlecopter. That lock range is pretty insane. I'm a bit... Yeah, I didn't watch any of this. I just looked at the maps and just said okay, because usually it's in standard you don't really look at the replay because you already see what's in front, and my Neo tank overextended and it's out of range of my anti-air to cover that Neo tank. So another mistake on my end. Builds a lot of infantry, artillery, and tank coming in, probably going to move into the middle island. And here we see Master Kanbei. Looks like he might get one of my properties, unfortunately. But I do have the artillery to cover that other one. Alright, so he just pulls back, builds another Neo tank, and passes the turn to our Tory Gold. Gets a low, doesn't get a roll on my tank, but gets a 1 roll on my Neo tank. Thank God they didn't get a second roll. I mean, he already got fortunate enough to get 2 of my cities. I'm pretty sure doesn't need any more luck. So yeah, that was a big flaw on my end, and he just sacrificed an infantry, moves another infantry to try to trap my Neo tank again, and has an artillery in range of it, probably outside of range of my rocket. And he builds an infantry battlecopter, but here comes the meteor strike, guys and gals. Boom! Right on the bomber and a few number of our Tory Gold units, and I actually use a missile to try to interrupt the cap on the the right side, just to save me 1 income. But there was a lot more value that... Wait, did I just shoot my own battlecopter? I probably did. I really just shot my own battlecopter. God damn it. Okay, but yeah, I shoot another missile here on this infantry. Does get the bomber as well, so the bomber is crippled. Is still untargetable, but won't do as much in comparison to a healthy bomber, obviously. And I have plus 30% defense, so I am fairly comfortable with taking some of these engagements. And 6 HP infantry, I still try to go for the capture. I am threatening to capture that base. Anti-air unfortunately cannot help with the unfortunately cannot help out with killing infantry, because I'm Sturm with minus 20% minus 20% defense, and I used a missile to try to save an infantry. Oh, actually, no, I didn't shoot my battlecopter. That must have just been a visual glitch. And yeah, it just gets 1 damage after another with all the luck that my friends have. I said to them before this game started, good luck. And Nell said to me something along the lines of, you probably shouldn't have said that or something, because they're all luck seals, and if they all get good luck, then there's a problem. And they're still chipping damage at me, and I have like... Oh, I didn't hit the bomber? Oh, I don't know. Replay does look a bit buggy with the missiles, because you usually don't see missiles in a competitive play. But yeah, that's I thought I shot my own battlecopter and like embarrassed myself, but a lot of support from Mouth for Artori Gold here, and Master Kambi getting a few pot shots on my units. Still ahead with the HP on that one tank engagement. Builds a tank, and has a Neo tank coming down for some reason and is continuing to wall off my units, and passes the turn to Artori Gold, gets artillery shots on most of my units, and oh, that was sad. Didn't see the tank die. Tank also did not die. Do I still have the defense boost? I still have the defense boost. So yeah, that is very fortunate of me to have my one tank survive, and it still survives. Oh man, Jugger. Let's see why Jugger is a little bit of a hassle to deal with compared to Nell and Flak. Yeah, the fighter is coming down to try to deal with all the other air units, and I pulled back a little bit, but I'm still covering most of my units here. And yeah, I just have the infantry come down the bridge now, all covered by artillery, and the infantry in the back is in range of both of the missiles. And I really wish I really want to play Melf's version now, where I just have plus 20% attack from 4 comm towers. Ah, man. Alright, so battlecopters are in front of the other battlecopter to try to stop them from attacking my units for free. I'm covering my units a bit better now, and this is just a giant clash that we see on both, that we can see on the right side. A bit late, but I used the missile again, and I don't kill that infantry, sadly. But I'm just getting a lot of infantry hits here. I joined my battlecopters just to put them at a bit more comfortable 9 HP, and I have a bomber coming from the right side. So yeah, that battlecopter will be protected because of that artillery, unless I shoot it and attack with an infantry. I don't know. My attacks are very weak. I should have been a lot more defensive this game, because I am overextending at this point. Like the flaws that you see in regular Advance Wars, you can still see them in casual play. Those are mistakes that will cost you. I am very fortunate, however, to have all my units alive because of my defense, going up against this very BS luck boost that all my that all my friends have. Oh man. So joins the infantry, so I will not be able to kill that infantry to try to get that shot off that battlecopter. Anti-air and mech. Does he still have that transport copter? He does. Mouth still has his transport copter on the left side, and looks like he's pulling back right now, so we probably will not see a power coming from Master Kambi's Flak. So I can respect the hold up. 2 Neo tanks and a medium tank on the left side from Master Kambi, and my tank is still healing. Gets a shot on my medium tank, does not die. Gets a really good hit on my rocket infantry right in front of my Neo tank to try to block me a bit. I do have something to damage it with, but I won't be moving that Neo tank. I will probably use my fighter instead. And yeah, it's just a very messy clash with 3 armies on the right side, but 2 of them are against one of them, and that is Orange Star and Green Earth going up against Black Hole. So I save my city from the left side, and I have a missile just getting massive damage off of that bottom side. And I try to join capture, and I kill off that bomber gladly. And I'm just getting another tank, and I'm starting to feel really, really good here on the bottom. Kill off that 2 HP tank. Neo tank was just gonna repair anyway, so it just stays there, and I get a hit with my fighter. yeah, I actually do get that Battlecopter hit. Second meteor strike coming down. Where is it gonna hit? It is going to hit a lot less units with the Neo tank and the medium tank, but it is still a lot more than just the meteor. I am getting 30% defense here against Nell, who is actually full power, full meter. So we will see that super coming in, and let's see if 30% defense from Sturm will actually hold. Alright, so I'm just moving my infantry up, 2 artillery on the left side, Battlecopter tank, Lady Luck! Never thought you'd see Lady Luck. Well, here we go, 3 damage on the Battlecopter, 1 damage on the anti-air, unfortunate, 4 damage on the medium tank, 1 damage on the tank. That Battlecopter is dead, absolutely. How much damage on the Battlecopter? Fully kills. Probably normal, 1 damage on the anti-air. Pulling back. 3 damage on the infantry. Tank kills, and the infantry fully kills off. By capturing infantry, the mech comes in. No, the mech is getting damage taken. Artillery is just shooting down, protecting the center island. So far better than me. So some misses and some hits coming from Melth's Nell here with the luck roll. Oh, and the transport copter is actually kind of losing some fuel. So it looks like it won't be moving that mech. That mech looks like it will just be moving up top towards the middle, where it would probably just comfortably go cover the middle, and brute force coming from Master Combe. 2 damage, I believe, on that medium tank. 6 damage on that tank. That's kind of expected. I didn't see how much damage on that tank. I'm so sorry. A few hits and few misses on a smaller scale coming from Flak here, Master Combe. And day 13, does Artorigo use his power alongside his friends? He does not. He's just getting rolls on that rocket, and that rocket is crippled. Cannot do a lot of damage. Just 1 damage on that medium tank, but we're starting to see the chip damage actually stack right now. I don't think there is another medium tank or anything stronger than a medium tank down here. Maybe some artillery shots, but I'm just getting hit by 1 damage, and it just keeps going and going, and they're all stacking up here. So I use my power, which is unfortunate, but my fighter is safe and can actually start pushing away these units, these Battlecopters in the middle here. Alright, I fire another missile. Probably should have used my missiles a lot sooner, but I'm just going hard on the right side right now. I'm going very, very offensive on that side. Neo-tank on Neo-tank, I deal 2 damage, and my opponent gets a decent roll, puts us at even, which is a bit unfortunate for me. But yeah, I'm just, again, killing infantry, walling off just a bit, artilleries. My right artillery on the bottom left is a bit exposed when that infantry dies, but I do have a lot more units to cover them, and the transports on the top are just ready to ferry down my infantry again. Anti-air is moving to the left side to try to cover, and let's see what he does here. No damage on that Neo tank, thank God. I would have been very upset by that. Artillery exposes my artillery, but Master Combe's units are the ones that will have to follow up. Looks like 1 damage on the 1 tank. 4 damage on my anti-air. Anti-air is at 1 HP. Yeah, that wasn't going to survive. Even with 20% defense, Nell's luck is, like I said, the best out of the 3 Luxios that you see that I am up against. Alright, so a Neo tank coming from Melth this time. No Battlecopter here, and I just have 1 infantry left trying to defend the middle side, and our Melth has put an artillery to cover that choke point on the bridge, and I will no longer be able to defend that. Artillery took no hits, thankfully, but everything else is just getting a bit of chip damage, but the wall is still holding. Perhaps my artillery is going to get some damage, like I said, and there was a mech coming from that base. System crash coming from Jugger here. Let's see what we could get. Looks like 1-2 damage on my Neo-Tank. No damage on my Neo-Tank. 2 damage on the Neo-Tank. 7 damage on that infantry here. So we're seeing some pretty decent rolls of system crash here. Alright, so looks like 2 mechs are moving in range here, and he's Jugger, so it's a bit scary. Not the, like I said, the width of Jugger's range is just so wide. You just don't really expect to get a lot of value off of it. But here we have the most expensive roadblock ever, a fighter on that center bridge. 2 damage on my infantry on the counterattack. And let's see here. Ooh, I get that kill off that 3 HP battlecopter. Maybe it took so much chip damage that was realistically 2, and the Neo-Tank probably just did 2 damage with a high luck roll to kill that battlecopter. Who knows? But yeah, I'm just getting more good first strikes here. A battlecopter does kill off that medium tank. So I have a healthy medium tank, a healing medium tank, and a damaged Neo tank. Probably might lose it, but yeah, I finally just moved my artillery down, fighter and bomber, moving down into center. Probably will see some air coverage on the middle from Mouth here, or maybe that anti-air from Master Kanbei will actually move down towards the middle and try to assist. Oh, took 9 damage. It's wow. This is just a lot of counterattack damage just to deal 1 damage. So yeah, luck was not on Mouth's side, unfortunately. But yeah, he's boosting his infantry up. Nope, doesn't use the transport boost. Probably would have saved him like 1 fuel. And infantry is dead, but bomber is... Actually, no, not bomber. Fighter is there, but it can't attack, and the anti-air finally comes in, so I have to respond differently. I can no longer stay there. Mouth wisely moves his battlecopter away from me and in range of anti-airs, so I would be less reluctant to attack, even if I just have the boost. But yeah, Recon is holding its ground against Flak. High rolls, low rolls, normal value, who knows? Getting a lot of chip damage off of my ooh, first the battlecopter, now 2 damage off that medium tank there. That kind of hurt to see. Infantry is moving up, Mouth just blocking him just a little bit, but again, we're just seeing a fantastic teamwork coming from all three of my friends here. I'm really glad to see that. Rocket is down. Infantry still stands. Infantry is gone, but he doesn't have anything to start capturing the city. Not that he would, but it would be a space for them to take up and a space for me to try to remove if I want to. I don't want to attack from the base and just like base skip myself. But yeah, I am getting pushed back pretty hard right now. I still have 2 missiles on my side. Let's see how I respond. Meteor strike coming in. Boom, attacks the rocket and some anti-airs, which is fine. And I do the same thing with the meteor strike, so it's about, you know, 1 less damage, but in combination is kind of like a regular meteor strike. But like I said, just -1 damage. Anti-air comes in, gets a really favorable hit on that battlecopter. Medium tank down here. Let me pause real quickly. Oh, I am in range of the Neo tank, my bad. Okay, so let's see here. I do occupy my city side, so I will be able to repair and attack from the same spot. And I injured the anti-airs down there, so I am very comfortable setting my bomber down there. And I'm just hammering left side really hard, and Mouth is there with the reinforcements. 3 artillery coming from my left side against Master Kanbei's Flaks, and oh, what's that, like 5 artillery there? So yeah, you can see I'm very defensive on that left side, but again, I'm just not covering my units with every single unit there. Now there are 2 Neo tanks that I am facing on the bottom side here, and yeah, it's looking a bit scary. Might have to just pull back and just, you know, artillery spam that entire side. Man. Yeah, it's like instant combat. You just see on the bottom side so much more action on the... I'm sorry, so much more action on the bottom. On the top, you just see me move infantry around just to fire missiles. And that artillery does not take damage, thankfully. But it's just a 3 HP infantry just on the top here. So Melf does have the chance to move through, but I do have battleships cover ground units. Brute force coming from Master Kanbei. 2 HP. Oh my goodness. Wow, that a dead medium tank and a crippled medium tank. 2 damage on the artillery. Really fantastic rolls coming from Flak here, Master Kanbei's Flak. Artillery Gold, who did use his super, is not going to get his power for a while. Gets 1 damage off the Neo tank. Attacks the 2 damage on my battlecopter. Oh my goodness. I can't tell if it's chip damage or if it's like, you know, a high luck roll. This was not a normal game. This was not a normal game. Yeah, you cannot properly calculate damage because I've got defense, my opponent has luck. Yeah, no damage on that Neo tank, thank goodness. 1 damage, acceptable, but again, it's just going to keep stacking and stacking. And with all that damage, I had my power up, I was not able to use my power. So Neo tank loops around, attacks that artillery. I'm okay with that artillery, 5 HP artillery against that Neo tank. I'm completely okay with that. Another missile comes down. Boom. 2 Neo tanks and the artillery. And I think I might have made a mistake. Yeah, that anti-air cannot reach that anti-air cannot reach that battlecopter, unfortunately. Probably blocked myself too, which was a mistake. I do have the fighter though, and I moved the artillery back far enough to where it is covered by my battleships. So I do have minimal coverage, lost some ground on that middle side. Artillery just killed something on the left. I'm sorry for not catching that. It's very fast paced. Infantry are just being moved forward. And yeah, just a lot of assistance coming from Melf here. Another free hit from the battlecopter, assuming that Master Kanbei does attack and kill my anti-air. I have no air coverage on that left side. Maybe if I move my fighter. Oh, speaking of fighters, Melf built his last turn and it's right in range of mine, covered by all of his infantry. Why can't air units just fly over ground units and just use, you know, and just attack from there? Ah, man. Like we mentioned, there are some things in Advanced Wars that make sense, some things that don't. And oh wow, looks like we're not going to see Master Kanbei try to kill that that anti-air. Probably would have done Melf some justice there. And here we can see on the right side, I just have a number of expensive heavy units. Melf and 2 damage on that Neo tank. Melf and Master Kanbei are just yeah, just doing a lot here. They just have a lot more units to attack with, and they have more opportunities to do chip damage. So yeah, the defense is like kind of not holding out, unfortunately. Kill that infantry, kill that anti-air. I am very close to getting a power, but I'm not attacking very valuable units. Like, there's nothing in range for me to kill that is expensive. Maybe the battlecopter on the left side. I'm just like shooting at infantry. Anti-air comes in. Ooh, it's so close, but I'm not yet there. Could I perhaps deal damage to the battlecopter? No, not enough. What am I at? Oh my gosh, just 600 more. 600 more? No. Looks like I'm not getting it. I unfortunately will not get my meteor strike this turn. So let's see, artillery just gets a little bit of damage on the Neo tank. That one tank survived, thank God. And alright, looks like Melf is just holding the center just a bit, but not with a lot of forces. 1 HP medium tank just died on my left side. Battlecopter also dies. Yeah, that was medium tank and a battlecopter damage like that. 1 damage on the Neo tank. Does he have anything for the bomber? Does Artillery Gold have anything for the bomber? Oh, transport copter is just moving right in front of me. Just like he's right in my face with those units, trying to cut off the right side for me. And yeah, Neo tank, 4 HP Neo tank, like 5 artillery, 1 2 HP artillery, and a rocket coming from the left side. Artillery's moving in. There's like 3 Neo tanks from my opponents. Built a bit more forces on in the middle. All right, let's see here. Master Kanbei gets a really good hit on that recon, and yeah, just like moving his units forward. A little reluctant to attack because I have a bunch of artillery. And turn 18 for Artillery Gold kills off my Neo tank. Rocket comes in. My rocket's exposed but doesn't take damage. Wow, Jugger. This is why Jugger looks a lot less impressive compared to the other COs. You can see how wide his luck range is, but you usually will not. He did get 1 HP out that Neo tank though. You could just see how, you know, it's wide and you're just not always going to get the high rolls. Nell, she doesn't have to worry about low rolls. I mean, she's just going to get normal, she's going to get higher. Meteor Strike 1 again, not Meteor Strike 2, because I don't think I would have been able to make it that far. Let's see here. Artillery is just... artillery and rockets just shooting down everything. I'm moving in, killing everything. Looks like the artillery attacked as well, or the infantry, I couldn't tell. Rocket moving up, and the artillery are just... they're just lobbing shots everywhere. Medium tank, no, not medium tank. Tank kills off that, what was that vehicle? I lost track already, unfortunately. Bomber, infantry, completely forgot about my 2 units on the top. I build a bunch of infantry. I move my transport down. Artillery just moves up, and I resigned. Yeah, that was, pretty impressive. The reason I resigned on day 18 was because I had nothing left to cover this artillery. These artilleries here, I had way too many damage units coming from the bottom side, and the rockets, it was just like the number of chip damage and how many units that they had to chip damage me with was what really massacred me. What I should have done playing this game was to actually be a lot more defensive and actually play like Advance Wars by Web Sturm, where I should take advantage of my defenses and take advantage of my indirects, because the Sturm's indirects are really, really good. There wasn't a whole lot of accessibility with the free movement of Sturm's power, the movement cost. Maybe with these forests that you see like all around here, like there were some spots I could reach where my opponent couldn't reach. Like earlier I put a tank right here to protect my infantry, because it was tanks and forests protecting my infantry, capturing that base. Alright, let's see here. I failed to protect 2 of these cities, and it'd be really hard for me to get them. Could maybe break the pipe seam, but that would expose my bottom side, and I would have like another front to try to cover. Yeah, it was like next turn you could see like Melf has his super, Master Kanbei has his power, Tori Gold has his super. You would have just, yeah, this would have just been like a massacre next turn if I just if those powers went through. Very more likely for Nell rather than Artillery Gold. But yeah, I should have played a bit more defensively, use more indirects, like not go all the way down here by 2 bases, but like maybe up here, like the city, and then just like make a line off of it. Unit coverage, I also failed to do. Missiles, I had some missiles were hit and miss. Like that one missile to try to save this one cap was something that it was a heavy investment just to save one city. Yeah, I overextended as Sturm when I shouldn't have, and yeah, I played very aggressively instead of defensively, where Sturm cannot use his, like, it's not an advantage, just a really really huge disadvantage for Sturm to try to attack anyone with my minus attack power. As for my opponents, very very strong control from Melth. I believe Melth was leading both of my friends when actually playing this. He kept telling them that eventually they were going to wear me down and they would get a good push. And yeah, they were getting a lot more income in comparison to me. Let's see here, 45, yeah. And they had, like, I had, let's see here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bases. Yeah, they could produce more. They had more income than me. It was just a matter of team synergy, and it was fantastic synergy from all of my friends here. So Mouth, Master Kambe, Multi Talk Talk, Artori Gold, thank you guys so much for helping me get this match through. I know specifically for Artori Gold has been very busy, but I was so glad that he was able to spend some time to actually play this game with me. It took a long time, and win or lose, I had a lot of fun. It was kind of like a celebration game, because at the end of the day, I had all of you guys supporting me and helping me reach 200 subscribers, and this was my video to you guys. So guys and gals, again, thank you guys so much for helping me reach 200 subscribers on the Advanced Warrior channel. It was honestly a number that I never thought I'd see coming at all. Like, when I got to 100, I felt, okay, I will probably get 100. Not counting on it, but if I do get it, whoa, that's really nice. And then I just shot up to 200, and it was kind of just mind-blowing to me. And this should have came out a lot sooner, to be more accurate. Like, what am I, like plus 30 subscribers after I hit the milestone? But I hope you guys are still here and still watching and enjoying this video. I really don't know how to say I appreciate you guys rather than just saying thank you guys so much. You guys are my motivation to keep making these videos, even though it's taking away some of my free time after work. This is actually my free time, and I am very comfortable to say that content creation is my hobby. I am very happy to have come across everyone on the Advanced Wars and Advanced Wars by Web community. I'm so happy to come across these guys who are willing to play this game with me and to just like, you know, have a fun 4-player match of one of my most favorite final missions in a lot of games that I've played. But yeah, this took a long time. I didn't think that I was going to endure this video, but I pulled through. I know the editing is going to kill me, but it will all be worth it at the end when this is finally out for you guys to see. So, guys and gals, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for helping me reach 200 subscribers, and I wish all of you the warmest regards. Please, take care.